Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. It is January 1st. Wow. The internet is having trouble today. This is my third attempt at uploading a really short video, and the connection problems. My upload speed and download speed are, over 75. So I don't know what's going on today with the YouTube, but the YouTube is not liking me posting today. It's only happened to me once before. I hadn't really tried to, post that much. I'm not a huge poster, but anyway, we'll try this again. It's January 23rd. It's Thursday, and it's afternoon. And good afternoon, everybody. The really kind of messing with my timing and everything because the connection problems. But anyway, it looks like it's stabilized out, so I don't know. We're going to see where it goes. Let me start off with a story I've tried to tell now twice before and was interrupted, and now we're going to try it for a third time. When I was working with this technology and getting ready to set up the 15 kW inverter system to run a whole house, to make the rubber meet the road, when I was looking around for inverters, I was referred to a guy, I believe, I think I recall it, and deals with electric vehicle batteries. And so anyway, yesterday, got two things. I go, nah, I don't want to really go that route. And then while I was setting up, hit the send, I had a third person come up and say, hey. So anyway, my hat's off to him. He's got a lot of people that's looking at his technology and what he's doing. Really nice guy, really smart guy. Told him that I was gearing up to test 15 kW for 216 hours, and I told him, the different technologies that, gave him an idea of the different technologies I did. And he wrote me back. He goes, I agree. Batteries may be a bit finicky for what you're doing, and so with solar. Well, solar, with what I'm going to be doing, just approaching it from a different angle. And then he wrote me back and he said, I would suggest a lake with 60 foot of dam or a GE microturbine gas-fired peaker plant. So he obviously knows what he's talking about. You don't get something for nothing, guys. And battery storage for low volume is different. My battery technology that I'm going to be using with this unit is not just lead acid cells. And everybody says, hey, Bill, the connections are right there. And yeah, they are. But when you hook up a serious inverter, you got to plan on all your wiring sizes and everything, which I have. And just to give you an idea, going from a 7.5, which is half of 15 kW. The electrical connection is 10 gauge wire. Okay. And 10 gauge wire is rated for 30 amps. Now, I've used it out in the farm and stuff for much higher amperage than that, 50 amps. But, 4-wire 10 gauge is a minimum do that. And remember the potential coming out that you can draw off the inverter system is much more than that. So 80 amps pass through is what the fuse is. So you can't, well, you could, but you'd have to use basically 3 of these to be evenwhere near code. Of course, you just do it with one single wire, because one single wire is the best. And so the cabling on that, you want those connections to be as short as possible, of course, and just things work better when you're dealing with that. But everything after that, you can stay within the confines of it. The cabinet that I'm producing belongs to the foundation. Okay, it's not for sale. I believe that they will be planning on doing the manufacturing thing, but that's on a whole nother level from what I'm doing. I'm just the R&D guy proving the technologies that I'm asked to prove. Okay. And then on the side, I fill with the other technologies which run with this channel. And there's a few things that I've really learned from, just backing up and doing that. So I really appreciate everybody that's involved with that. New things come up every single day. This particular inverter is, I've got it on my unit, but it's very handsomely done. And when you think about the electricity that passes through these inverters for 216 hours, it's just a lot of energy. And again, I don't get into name brands or everything, but I will be testing the pass-through. Electricity does not like to stay stored. And when you do store it, of course, it leaks down over time. And the correct way to use electricity is just to keep it moving. And the utility poles and utility guys do a very good job doing that. And like I said, my hat's off to you guys that work in the power plants, and whether you're working in a peaker plant or whether you're working in a hydro plant, nuclear plants, man, y'all keep the world electrified and keep that moving. And you don't get something for nothing. And I've never approached this as far as doing that. I've always just been appreciative of any Q factor improvement that can be made. And it's an exciting world, the world of electricity. And so if you're planning on doing a whole house, I recommend an inverter that's at least 15 kW in North America, pretty much, because we consume a lot of electricity. We don't really consume it. We use it and then pass it on to our neighbors and everything. And yeah, some people feel like that it's unaffordable, but it's just one of those days. Hang on just a minute. Hello. Yeah, Ken, I'm posting right now. Yeah, this is my third attempt at internet connection at the house is wormy today. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, I'm talking live on the YouTube. So, but I'll be up there in a minute. All right. Bye. So anyway, that word anyway, I keep using it. I don't know why. I guess that's my filler word. I got to break myself of a habit. Where was I? Oh, electricity likes to be moving all the time. And it really doesn't like to be stored. We pass it on through our neighbors, the poles and wire guys, keep all that stuff up. And yes, storms, utility outages, and things like that do happen. And all we can really do with battery power is extend the 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 the, the run times. But the real way that you do it, especially when you're dealing with a 48-volt input, is especially if you're not using higher technologies. Okay, if you're using a 48 volt input, the more battery, you can't get enough batteries. Okay, that's just the way it goes. And the inverter will do it if you have enough, you know, typical batteries, but it's not going to give you that. Okay. Like I said, the technology that I deal with, you know, I wish I could tell you exactly how to do it, but I can't. Okay, I can leave clues. I can teach parts of the technology, but I can't just, you know, put it out there and show you how to do it. And I'm not trying to make any money from this, as people will tell you. You guys that are set up in business doing the different parts of it, my hat's off to you. I appreciate you. I'm just in a completely different field, and I have some interest um, in some other things, and we'll see. You know, it's the uh, 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 it's not rocket science, and you know, when you see how simple it really gets, and that's what I'm doing, is I'm shrinking big, and it's like cutting down a tree or growing a tree. You know, it grows daily, and when you're cutting it down, you cut it into pieces where you can manage the pieces, and then you put it together. But you have to understand where you're going, and you know, it's if you think that you're going to hook up a house to uh, some motor and run it forever, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, the perpetual motion on that scale is not there. You have to have the seed energy, and I've tried to explain that to people over and over and over again. They go, "Yeah, but what?" There's investment and things that happen. People have to work on it. People have to maintain it, but when you size correctly, wire it correctly. As far as the inverter itself, with the proper fusing, proper wires, you got to be careful. So the cabinet size of your battery cabinet, it'll be a battery cabinet, completely plug and play. And if I was doing it for somebody else, they'd have to have an electrician go to the mains and put a solid lockout breaker there at the mains, and then everything after the inverter or sub panels, just pretty much like you'd set up a Generac system. Okay, and so moving all those wires around and redoing the sub panels is through there. But the system is plug and play. You plug in the input, be a different size plug, and it only goes in there one way. You plug in the other, and it's an energy cabinet. And I really hadn't looked at anybody else's energy cabinets of what's out there. I got an email from somebody just today on their cabinet that they're promoting. I'm going to check it out and take a look at it. And do that. But you got to have a footprint, and the footprint is best done on a cabinet. And cabinet that rolls around works pretty nice. But if you're doing storage batteries, you know, do your math on how much a deep cycle lead acid battery weighs, because you know they're about 90 pounds, I guess, 80 pounds for a good deep cycle battery. And gel cells will work fine with this particular type inverter. So, and there's several people, you can buy them from all over the place. Okay, I found 15 different inverters similar to this one in the 12 to 15 kW range, but 15 kW for what I'm doing is perfect, especially for the rest of it. So if you're choosing to do this, don't just get in a hurry and not wire everything correctly. Okay. It's an inverter. Okay. It's an inverter. It's just a bigger inverter, but the potential that's there is just like a power plant. Okay. And it will consume batteries, normal batteries, very quickly. And uh, it all depends on your load. This particular inverter in standby mode is 250 watts. Okay, and that as it inverts percentage wise, those numbers break, get less. So it's pretty neat. But just to fire the thing up is 250 watts, which will run down a 48-volt set of batteries pretty quick in itself, surprisingly. Okay. So the cabinet that I'm doing is internally, it's a high voltage cabinet, and it will step down to 48 volts. And it's not quite the way you want to do it, but then that's going to give me the next step to the inverters that I want to be working with. And it's just a process. But again, like I said, I always want everybody to be very safe when they're messing with these technologies. And I'm showing you the way that I do it. And do it wisely, do it correctly when you're putting one of these things together. I think they're about they list US about $3,300 for a proper inverter. What's nice about it is that it has the features in it. If you do have overloads and other things going off, that it protects itself. And other than on initial hookup, if you don't reverse the polarity on the DC supply side, everything else should run fine. It's a wonderfully confidently proven product. So I understand the technology, the smart charger that it has in it, because I've been working with smart charging for a long time, and it's all built in there. The features on them are amazing. Hope this helps you. I hope you have a great day. It is staggering to jump up from 1.5 kW operation to 15 kW, and but even the step between 7.5 kW and 15 kW is a lot. So especially when you're talking about battery backup, storage, and ramping up to do that. It's the system. Like I said, the target at 15 kW is 216 hours runtime. That's the target. Okay. If I fall short of the target, at least I'll know exactly where I am. But that's my design parameters. That's where I'm going, and we'll see. Okay. I don't know. I hadn't done it before in this big a scale. I've got a lot of experience in the 1.5 kW scale, but I don't have that much experience in the 15 kW. And I don't know anybody else that does. If there's somebody out there that does, and if you know somebody, please send them my way. I'll be glad to talk to them. Talk to me. I'm not a smart ass or anything. I just, I do my research and I study hard, and then I take that research and I actually put it on the bench and carefully analyze what's going on. And all I want to do is I'm like anybody else. I want to be able to plug the thing in and it go to work, and it do it safely, and set it and forget it. And I don't want something that I have to maintain all the time, because Lord knows I got more maintenance projects just here in this house, and then not to mention at the shop, and not to mention other things going on. So whether whether I'm working on the hangar, whether there's always something for me to be doing. My hands stay pretty busy. So uh, but it's the anybody that's done this knows that even on a boat and running generators and everything, you don't get something for nothing. And so if somebody says, well, if I want to be off the grid, what do I need to do? And why do you need to be off the grid? Do you not have utility poles that can run to your place? And if they have utility pole there, I would not even begin to go here. I mean, basically, this type of technology with a 48-volt inverter is good for a few hours, not days. And so it takes good infrastructure. But this inverter can do the job as far as if you have the DC voltage available to it. And it's low frequency, so it can take a lot of ringing on it without disturbing the components the way that this one's manufactured. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Hope you're having fun, because we are. It had been fun to be knocked off the YouTube 3 or 4 times. Started my day about 4:30 this morning, and so I could get to this point where I can go play. I'm gonna go play now, and start putting the pieces together. And I love puzzles. Harder the puzzles, the better I like it. So here we go, and we'll see you next trip.